everybody. I'm Seth Killian.
Yes, you are.
Joined by my friend and Valentine.
Oh,
sadly.
you had to tell everyone we were Valentine's now. All right. I guess the
I don't
secret's
think
out.
it was me. I think you blew it up. So we are here at Wednesday Night Fights, the Street Fighter Cross Tekken edition. All I wanted to do here was do a little explanation of what's going on with some of the systems, try and give people a little bit of background to understanding so they're not just looking at ABC over and over again. I know you've been putting in some time with the game, found some very cool stuff. The juggle system is a little bit unusual in this game, borrowing from Tekken, but a few elements of Street Fighter remaining on that. And I also wanted to show, I know a lot of people have been talking about links versus chains and canceling into chains and canceling out of links and things like that. So I wanted to show a little bit of that as well, and then maybe we'll run through some gems to try and give people an idea. We won't go into the gameplay, but I'll just run down the list and try and explain how these things all work. Okay. So we'll do a little bit of game mode. So anyway, with Ryu, we got, everyone's familiar with this. They've seen that a million billion times. There's my boy Vega. And that's, of course, the chain. But you can also do links. So that's your basic link. And you can go from there into that. That's all link. Or you can do, there's a little chain at the end of that. But out of any of those links, you can, of course, cancel.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I saw recently Daigo was doing a series of videos with Capcom in Japan, and I saw he was actually playing Street Fighter 4 slots going through those crazy links. And
exactly.
It was cool to see that they're still working the game.
Yeah, you can get some pretty big ones, like stuff that you can only get on Chun-Li, usually on cross-up or whatever. You can do like... So you can chain out of that, or you can cancel that into a super.
Okay.
Just like that. And that's all link, so it's easy to cancel out of that. Otherwise, chains, you have to do an EX. So if I do... Like you have to do a super or an EX in order to cancel out of that. If I try and do just a jab fireball, nothing will happen.
Oh, I see.
But if I do... That'll cancel because it's a link, so I can cancel normals out of a link. If you want to cancel out of a chain, you need to use either an EX or a super.
So it has to be a natural link that exists, otherwise you'll go to the
exactly, but links are pretty juicy, so you can do like... No, I think it's a little too slow. Let me try it one more time. That'll hit. That makes you sit here and miss combos all night. Yeah, but anyway, that works. Let me get it once. Wow, I missed it again. There we go. And that's just one bar, and you get pretty solid damage, close to 400 damage off one bar. Of course, you can tag cancel that and go into other things from there. But what I wanted to show about the juggles also is there's sort of a juggle potential attached to each of the moves. Because it's sort of pretty solid damage. In Tekken, as you know, anything will juggle. In this game, sort of anything will juggle as well. So potentially every move in the game juggles. So I'll put you up in the air with that. So I can juggle with all those, or I can chain it. I can go do stuff like that, or that would be a chain, and they all juggle, but I can put those in any order. You can start with the strong. You can still cancel out of that, and they're just sort of bouncing on it, and each of those moves has a juggle potential, and as long as I'm going to a higher move, I can keep it going.
So the juggle potential in this game is obviously far greater than any other Street Fighter style game that we were used to.
Yeah. Okay. So right there, you see my juggle potential on the light attacks is burned out, so that'll miss. But I can go into that, and that'll hit. Or I can go, as long as I go to another higher attack, that'll hit as well. So yeah, you can go from there into EXs, whatever it is. As long as the juggle potential keeps going up, you can get sometimes up to around, it'll vary. So some characters have exceptions, but the fierce attacks, you can usually get up to about 4 of them. The jabs, 2, the medium punches and kicks, about 3.
I see, okay.
So it's a very flexible system, but theoretically everything juggles at the beginning. As you get further on in the combo, you want to be a little bit more dynamic about it. I'm sure there's tons of things I'm forgetting here. What are we forgetting here?
I don't know, but what people can do is buy the game and find out. They can pre-order it today.
That is the end of the discussion.
You can actually pre-order the sticks too.
Should we run through a few gems really quickly?
Yeah, show me the gems. I mean, I've seen the breakdown of gems online. A lot of people have been going over it. But I mean, the potential is pretty insane. It's a lot of customization as well if you want to take it that far.
There we go. Let's go into the gem unit.
Okay.
So this is just the basic gem. Well, let's go into the full list actually. So we'll go into the edit gem unit, and I should add every character has up to 5 presets. So it's not just 5 presets you get overall. You get 5 presets per character.
I see.
So you can have a very specific loadout for every character in the game. So here with Ryu, we're playing with immense power. These are all, you'll notice, the difference here is these are all immense power level 1, but they all have different activation conditions. So this one says connect with 5 normal moves. This one connect with 3 special moves. This is the partner connects with a launcher, and that'll turn on your gem. And there's also, you notice the time varies sometimes with some of these gems. Yeah, so you see as you move across here. And you also notice some of these icons, immense power level 2. That sounds better than level 1. The disadvantage here, of course, is you've lost 10% of your movement speed if you activate this gem. So it's a little shorter. You get a little more of a damage boost, but you lose a little speed. So again, even the level 2s and level 3s are balanced off against the level 1s, at least theoretically. I'm sure we'll blow it somehow. Someone will come up with the best possible gem loadout ever. But yeah, the activation conditions vary, which sort of balances that on its own. And then also sometimes there's some downsides to some of the gems as well as the upsides.
Okay, that's interesting. I didn't know there were like certain nerfs to certain gems. Like, okay, you get this power, but your speed.
Exactly.
Okay, that's
cool.
Then,
yeah, like the immense power level 3, that's pretty juicy. To activate this, you have to go into Pandora. Obviously, that's really laying it on the line. So I wanted to talk about some of the other gem types really quickly. Iron Wall, this is basically your defense kind of gem. So you see here again the sort of standard damage reduction, time changes, activation conditions change. This one reduces some of your damage output. But you can start mixing and matching these things to get really interesting combinations that fit your playstyle. And again, I think people will talk about what is the ideal gem loadout, what is the best possible gem loadout. But it's...
I mean, that's going to vary too, depending on someone's style, right?
That you nailed it exactly, man.
Okay.
So that's what because I was like, oh, here's the best player at Capcom Japan mobile test. I'll mimic his gems, and I was like, well, actually, that guy rushes a little more than I do. I found I was doing much, much better by playing with some of the defense gems and getting those boosts, because some of the more aggressive gems I wasn't activating in a round. Like, I'd play most of my rounds, and I'd notice some of my gems weren't activating. So Iron Wall, so obviously power. Everyone understands power boost, Iron Wall, defense boost. We've also got Fortitude. Now, this is sort of interesting. So it's not quite defense, but it's sort of like, I don't know, it's not really, I don't want to confuse people by saying it's sort of like the focus attack. When you focus damage in Street Fighter 4 and then you heal it up?
Yes.
You're not actually healing any damage up. This is basically, what the Fortitude does is basically extends your life bar by 100 points of damage.
Oh, okay.
So you saw that pretty solid Ryu combo. I did like low strong, Link low fierce, Hurricane kick, low short, donkey kick, and then into EX sure you can. So that's a pretty solid combo. That was about 380 points of damage. So this is able to knock a solid chunk of that damage off. If you have this gem active, it'll be active for 20 seconds, and it will just suck up a straight 100 points of damage.
Wow, okay.
So useful. Again, it sort of depends. Do you want a 10% reduction on damage or 20% damage reduction, or do you want just 100 points of raw damage? So if someone attacks me and it does less than 100 points of damage, when this gem is over, it's as though they've done no damage to me at all. So that's an important difference. You can run the math on that one. There's going to be math. There will be math.
I think they're going to be college courses on this game.
Yes. No, dude, I swear I have like notes, and I'm like, okay, I got some of this. And where that really came in for me, speed, of course, you understand this as well.
And from what I've understood, I think you guys explained it, it's the actual movement speed and not the move speed.
Yes, it is movement speed. The move speed really opened up some crazy, crazy stuff, so it's movement speed. But that makes a huge difference. Some of the best characters in the game have been sort of balanced out by slower movement speed. Those guys with speed gems get quite crazy, and of course the faster characters when they're on speed, especially if they activate Pandora or things like that, very, very dangerous. So again, you'll see things like this where you lose a little bit of damage reduction for your increased speed, and you see the standard variance in time, activation conditions, etc.
And again, just so everyone's clear, there's 3 gem slots.
3 gem slots, yeah. So you can choose up to 3 gems.
That's pretty crazy. I know what I'm picking.
And you can have 5 different options per character, and of course you can change those in between rounds or whatever you want as well. Yeah, it does get pretty crazy. Yeah. I'm already thinking about
a hint towards something.
Yeah, no. Yeah, we'll get there. So Life Force is actually a class of gem where it'll allow your as it says, vitality gradual restoration, exactly like focus attack or when you're tagged out. In this game, you'll heal up life if this with this gem active, you'll heal up to 80 points of damage over 5 seconds. If you activate this gem, Harmonize,
Instant.
you get the instant.
Wow.
No time, so 0 seconds you see it, and it does a little less of a boost. You get a little less life back, but still quite solid. Onslaught. Now these gems are my bread and butter, man. This is my Jimmy Jam, because I like the, I'm quite fond of meter and stupid combos involving meter and tagging in your opponents. And there's a lot of things you can do with meter. Meter is a big focus of this game. You build meter even by whiffing moves.
I mean, building
Back
meter
to
in this
third
game,
strike.
it's fast anyways.
Yeah,
Well,
you build meter
it's
quite
insane.
quickly, and you can sit there and whiff moves. Everything you do builds meter, because we know you're going to need it. And for people that are real meter junkies like me, Onslaught is what you want. So you get nice 20% damage boost. This one, 40% damage boost, or excuse me,
Whoa.
rate increase.
Okay.
Starts to get really insane. So in addition to the Onslaught gems, another meter-related gem, Proficiency. And what this will do is give you a 10% coupon every time you use meter. So you save a little bit of your meter off what you would have normally done, so you get like cheaper supers, cheaper EXs.
Oh, that's cool.
Things like that. So again, it's a little bit different. So you have the Iron Wall and the Fortitude. Now you've got your Proficiency and your Onslaught, sort of two sides of the same coin. All gets to the same point, and that's some of your basic gem loadouts here in the Street Fighter Cross Tekken.
So the lamer characters can get lamer.
Yes.
Interesting. All right.
Or you can grind it out or try and make them fun. Yeah,
Okay.
whatever you want to do. A lot of options. This is the thing that really got my brain going and thinking, doing some notes on paper, thinking I'm going to find some way to power this auto block gem so I'm an unbeatable wall of blockery.
And I've been following the community on forums and Twitter and stuff like that. Everyone that's been playing with the gems recently from the recent events that you guys have had, they say the gem system isn't overpowered or anything crazy like they were saying. They actually like it. It doesn't really affect the gameplay as much as they thought it would.
And I know when we talked about gems for the first time, we really should have had a build out here that we could let people get their hands on and determine for themselves like how the whole thing works. So that's why we're here at Wednesday Night Fights. I've been really happy to see people turning in good reports and excited about the possibilities rather than just going like, I don't know. Yeah, so I had the same reaction, but playing with them is a different experience. So we'll let the people here at Wednesday Night Fights tell you for themselves what they think.
Nice.
Everyone knows that. They'll be like, oh, that guy works at Capcom. He might be shining us. No, I try and tell it like it is. Obviously, I'm going to give you the happy side of the story as far as I can, but I think the story here tonight will come out from all the players here. And I know you've been putting in some time on the gems as well. I've seen you play it cool, but you got some pretty juicy combos.
I like this game a lot. I'll say that. I like this game a lot.
Yeah, it's got a nice balance. So I think it's got like a big middle ground. So I feel like pizza is kind of the same way. Like, you can have bad pizza, but most pizza's like pretty solidly in the middle. You have your great pizza and your bad pizza, but most pizza's like in a nice middle ground. Thai food, I feel similar. Like,
but it's still
your bad
pizza.
Thai food. You got a big middle range of Thai food. This game, skill-wise, I feel like it's easier to pick up than a Street Fighter 4 in kind of a Marvel way. But Marvel also gets so crazy, you get blown out very quickly. This game has a bigger middle ground where it's got that sort of Street Fighter boundary where you're not going to see something super, super insane, but the execution's a little easier. You can use some of the gem loadouts to try and cover up your weaknesses, whatever they might be. And I think it really just creates a lot of possibility. So, anyway,
I am down. Let's play it.
All right, let's get into this, and
I think they're gonna get started. So
let's kick it over to the main man and head to commercial.
and we're clear.